Everything eventually works out. I'm old enough to have tested this theory several times, and I can tell you that it is fact. I used to think that somewhere along the line, some adultier adult would come and tap me on the shoulder and say, "Get out of here, kid, we got this from here," right? Or I'd get some email that said, "Click here for your eternal happy ending." I'm still waiting for that one. It was probably in my spam folder. Here's the thing. When my dad died unexpectedly, I thought that I would never stop crying. I did. And every single time I've ever lost my job, I thought that I would end up homeless. I didn't. And then, there was that relationship that ended, and I thought that I would never find love. I would never be happy. I met Doug, and I am. At the time, each of these things felt like it was the end of the world, and there was no possible way that I was going to be able to get through it. But I always did. Growing up, nobody ever told me that I could be my own hero, right? The best way to do that is just to show up for yourself when you really don't want to. Take a look back at all of the things that you've done in your life, all of the things that have happened, all of the things that you thought, "I'm never going to make it through this." And you did. You're still here. I think that we forget that we can depend upon ourselves to do the hard things. So, here's your reminder. I've been through some shit, but none of the things in my life ever froze me in a place where I couldn't move forward. I may have paused, of course. Yes, I may have paused. But some of that stuff also permanently changed me and changed who I was fundamentally and changed my path. But I've always adapted. And I think you have too. I've sat in the dark just sure that everything is completely over in my life. And then the next thing you know, I'm watching videos about talking dogs and laughing my ass off. And that's how sneaky healing can be. It just kind of sneaks in and pretends that it's always been there. People always say to trust the process, and I always say, well, what process is that? Because for me, if process was a person, it would be that friend of mine that says, "I'm on my way, I'll be there in 5 minutes," knowing damn well that they're still in the shower. So yeah, everything eventually works out. Not because anyone saved me, because I've realized that I am both the problem and the solution in my life. It feels like a design flaw, but whatever. But looking back, it has always worked out. Maybe not the way I pictured, maybe not the way I wanted it to, maybe not all wrapped up in a neat little bow, but enough that I got through it. I don't know how it always works out. I just know that it does, even when it feels like it won't.